Hey everyone, and welcome. So if you're in the UX world right now, you have definitely felt it. That kind of weird mix of sheer panic and massive excitement about AI, right? Is it coming for our jobs? Is it a once-in-a-generation opportunity? Well, today we are going to look at the data. And let me tell you, it shows that for anyone who's ready to adapt, AI isn't just an opportunity, it's a full-blown gold rush. All right, let's get into it.
Look, the entire foundation of what we do in user experience is shifting right under our feet. For what feels like forever, the job was all about the manual grind, cranking out wireframes, building static mockups. But this new world, it is all about strategic partnership. We're not just the hands that build anymore. We're becoming the minds that guide these incredibly powerful AI systems. It is a huge leap from production work to strategic oversight.
And this quote right here, this is the core idea for everything we're talking about today. Seriously, this is not a story about being replaced. It's a story about evolution. You know, those core skills that make a UX professional great. Empathy, understanding the user, thinking strategically, they are more valuable than they've ever been. AI is just creating brand new arenas for us to use them.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. In 2024, a crazy 75% of companies jumped onto the generative AI bandwagon. But you know what happened? This created a brand new headache, a problem people are calling synthetic genericism. All of a sudden, the internet was just flooded with apps and websites that looked polished, they looked professional, and they all looked exactly the same. And right there, that's where our opportunity begins.
But let's be real for a second, the anxiety is totally justified. The numbers don't lie. Job postings for those traditional junior-level UX roles, you know, the ones that are super heavy on mockups and wireframes, they took a real hit. They dropped by about 30% from their peak. Why? Because that production work is getting automated. So that begs the question, what's replacing it?
This is what's replacing it. The World Economic Forum is projecting that AI is going to create 92 million new digital jobs by 2030. So yeah, while some doors might be closing, a whole new universe of opportunity is blowing wide open. The field isn't shrinking, not at all. It's transforming into something way bigger and, frankly, a lot more strategic. So let's look at the very first of 5 brand new, high-paying roles that are popping up from this shift.
First up, we've got the AI UX designer, which you'll also hear called a conversational AI designer. These are the folks who are literally shaping how we talk to and interact with all the AI products we're starting to use every single day, from simple chatbots to our virtual assistants. Think about this for a second. Traditional UX was all about designing static screens. This is a whole different ballgame. You're not designing a screen, you're designing a dynamic system that actually learns and adapts. You're crafting personalities, designing how a conversation flows. You're basically the bridge between human psychology and machine intelligence. It's like being part designer, part writer, and part psychologist all rolled into one.
And you better believe the market values this skill set. While starting salaries around $70K, senior designers at big-name companies like Meta are pulling in over $222,000 a year. That's a massive signal of just how critical this new role is becoming. Okay, on to our second role.
You've probably heard this term buzzing around, the prompt engineer. Okay, if an AI model is like this super powerful but kind of chaotic engine, the prompt engineer is the master driver. They're the one who can make it go exactly where it needs to go with precision every single time. You can almost call them AI whisperers. So their job is to craft the absolute perfect inputs to get consistent, on-brand, and accurate results from models like ChatGPT or Midjourney. They build whole libraries of these prompts for companies, and they're on the front lines making sure the outputs are reliable and avoiding those bizarre AI hallucinations. They're the ones who really unlock the true power of these tools.
And because this skill is so rare and so incredibly valuable, the pay is, well, it's astronomical. Top specialists can command over $270,000 a year, and remote roles can often earn even more. It just goes to show you the value of becoming a true specialist in this new AI economy.
All right, now for a role that is genuinely on the cutting edge. This is the Agent Experience, or AX, designer. And this isn't just a simple evolution of UX. No, this is a complete paradigm shift.
So here's the key difference. Listen to this. Traditional UX is about guiding a person through a task.
Agentic UX is about designing a system where an AI agent completes the entire task for the person. So instead of designing a flight booking website, an AX designer creates a system where you just tell your AI, hey, book me a trip to Tokyo next month, and it does everything. It's about designing for trust and autonomy between us and the machines.
This field is so new that the job titles are literally still being defined as we speak. But the early specialists, they're already commanding salaries upwards of $150,000. So for anyone who's looking to get way ahead of the curve, this is the space you want to be watching very, very closely.
So as AI gets more and more powerful, our fourth role becomes, well, it becomes absolutely essential. I'm talking about the AI ethics specialist. This person is basically the conscience of the entire AI development process, making sure that these powerful systems are built and used responsibly. They're focused on making sure the AI performs fairly for everyone, developing the rules of the road for responsible development and protecting our privacy. You know, in a world where one AI mistake can become a global headline and a total PR nightmare, this role is not just a nice to have, it is a critical defense for any company out there.
And that importance is definitely reflected in the paycheck. Senior-level pros in AI governance can earn over $243,000. It's pretty clear that companies are willing to pay a major premium to stay out of trouble and, more importantly, to build trust with their users.
Okay, our final role brings us right back to where we started. Remember that problem of synthetic genericism? Well, this role is the answer. The brand identity specialist is the champion of human creativity and uniqueness in a world that's getting flooded with AI-generated content.
So while an AI can spit out 1,000 slick, professional-looking logos in a second, they all kind of have that same generic feel. These specialists do the one thing AI can't. They create truly distinctive, memorable, and authentic brand experiences. They're the ones building the custom design systems that make a brand feel human, not like it was generated by a machine.
You know, in a sea of AI sameness, being truly different is priceless. And that's why top earners in this field are making over $146,000. It is definitive proof that human creativity is and will always be one of the most valuable assets any company can have.
So there you have it. 5 very different roles, 5 seriously impressive salaries. So what do they all have in common? What are the core skills that kind of tie this whole new landscape together?
Well, when you look across all these roles, a pattern of 6 essential skills starts to emerge. Of course, it starts with AI fluency, but that tech knowledge has to be paired with timeless, human-centered design. You've got to be able to think across different fields, bridging tech, business, and ethics. And maybe most importantly, you need that strategic thinking to know when to let the AI do the work and when to apply that truly irreplaceable human judgment.
And you know what? The path to getting into these roles is actually clearer than you might think. It all starts with building that fundamental understanding of AI and just getting your hands dirty, experimenting with the tools. But the single most important step is to specialize. Don't try to be a jack of all trades. Pick one of these emerging areas, go deep, and build a portfolio that proves you're the expert they're looking for.
So, this whole story that AI is replacing designers, it's just missing the point completely. It's creating new specialists. The field hasn't shrunk at all, it is transformed. So the only real question left is the one right here on the screen. Which path are you going to choose? I'll leave you with that.